Quote, "Let not conceit enter your heart at any time of your life. Do not run after trifles." Meaning of the quote. This quote is a timeless instruction for a meaningful life. It warns us against two great dangers. First, allowing conceit, an inflated pride or arrogance, to settle in our hearts. Pride blinds us to our weaknesses, separates us from others, and prevents true learning and growth. Second, it urges us not to waste our lives chasing trifles, small, unimportant things that may bring momentary pleasure but no lasting fulfillment. Life is too precious to be wasted on vanity and distractions. True greatness is quiet, and real happiness is found not in shallow achievements but in living with humility, purpose, and depth. Spiritual perspective. Spiritually, every soul is seen as a seed planted with immense potential. Pride is like a wall that surrounds the seed, preventing sunlight and rain, the nurturing forces of growth, from reaching it. When pride fills the heart, it isolates us from deeper truths. It tricks us into believing we are self-sufficient, better than others, above correction or growth. But spiritual maturity requires openness, vulnerability, and self-awareness, qualities impossible to cultivate within a conceited heart. Likewise, chasing trifles, the glitter of status, fame, fleeting pleasures, pulls the soul away from its true journey. Instead of moving toward inner peace, purpose, and deeper connection, we get entangled in endless cycles of wanting, chasing, and disappointment. The wise walk the earth lightly. They live purposefully but without arrogance. They seek what is lasting, wisdom, kindness, compassion, treasures that time and death cannot steal. Scientific perspective. Modern psychology and neuroscience provide fascinating confirmation of this ancient wisdom. Studies on narcissism show that individuals who inflate their own importance suffer from weaker relationships, higher rates of anxiety, and greater emotional instability. Pride often masks insecurity, and it leaves people isolated, chasing endless external validation to prop up their fragile egos. Meanwhile, behavioral science shows that the human brain craves quick dopamine hits, bursts of pleasure that come from minor rewards like social media likes, compliments, or buying new things. However, these dopamine bursts are short-lived. The brain quickly adjusts, leading to a phenomenon called hedonic adaptation. What thrilled you yesterday feels normal today, and you need more to feel the same excitement. Thus, running after trifles, trivial goals and temporary highs, builds a life of restlessness and dissatisfaction. In contrast, people who cultivate intrinsic goals, meaning, connection, creativity, service, experience deeper happiness, resilience, and peace of mind. In other words, humility and focus are not just moral virtues, they are keys to thriving psychologically and emotionally. Let's bring this wisdom to life through a short story. In a quiet countryside village, there lived a young man named William. From an early age, William was recognized for his talents. He could paint beautifully, solve complex puzzles, and speak with charm. Villagers often praised him, and at first, William felt humbled by their kindness. But slowly, pride crept into his heart. He began to think he was superior to everyone else. He looked down upon the blacksmith, the farmer, the shepherd, believing they were simple and dull compared to his brilliance. William no longer painted for the joy of creation. He painted to win praise. He entered competitions, seeking applause. He started mocking others quietly in his mind, feeling they were beneath him. One autumn day, an old traveler named Thomas arrived in the village. He was simple in appearance, wearing plain clothes, carrying a small bag, and walking with a cane. Yet, there was a quiet wisdom about him that intrigued everyone. Thomas stayed for a few days, helping villagers fix their roofs before winter, telling gentle stories to the children, and tending to the sick without seeking reward. Curious, William approached him and said proudly, "Old man, what is it that makes people remember you, when you have no medals, no paintings, no great deeds?" Thomas smiled warmly and said, "Come with me tomorrow at sunrise." At dawn, they walked to a hill overlooking the village. The sky was painted in soft colors, golds, purples, and pinks. Thomas pointed to the horizon and asked, "Tell me, William, does the sun rise to win applause?" William shook his head, puzzled. Thomas continued, "The sun rises because it is its nature to shine. It needs no praise, no trophies, no boasting. And yet, without it, life would perish. True greatness is silent, constant, and humble, like the sun." William stood silently, watching the sunrise. In that golden light, he saw the pettiness of his pride and the futility of chasing trifles. From that day forward, William painted again, but not for glory. He painted the beauty he saw in the everyday lives of the villagers, the blacksmith's hands, the shepherd's flock, the smile of a mother. And his heart, once heavy with conceit, grew light with quiet joy. How it applies to everyday life. At work, success can tempt us to see ourselves as better than others. But workplaces thrive when leaders are humble, when teammates lift each other up, and when success is shared. Working with humility creates an environment of trust and inspiration. In friendships and relationships, conceit erodes relationships. It creates distance, resentment, and loneliness. But humility opens space for forgiveness, understanding, and deep connection. Listening with sincerity, admitting faults, and celebrating others' strengths are the marks of a loving heart. In personal goals, chasing trifles looks like pursuing shallow, fleeting goals, fame, followers, wealth without purpose. A meaningful life asks, what am I building? Who am I becoming? Small, daily choices, like showing kindness, mastering a skill, serving quietly, lead to deep and lasting fulfillment. In mental and emotional health, a mind weighed down by pride is fragile, always anxious to defend itself. A mind chasing trifles is restless, never satisfied. But a mind rooted in humility and purpose is calm, resilient, and joyful. In every season of life, the temptation to fall into pride and distraction will whisper at our door. But we have a choice, to live loud and hollow, or quiet and full. To chase empty lights, or to walk toward the enduring light within ourselves. Let humility be the soil in which you plant your dreams. Let purpose be the water that nourishes them. And let your life bloom, not for applause, but because that is what true living does. Thank you for joining this exploration of wisdom. If this message resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more insights into timeless truths. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step, and every great idea begins with a strong foundation. See you in the next episode.